And shifting our focus to another CNN News 18 exclusive top intel sources telling Security Affairs Editor Manoj Gupta about Asim Munir's itinerary in Washington. White House, though, remembers, denied his attendance at the U.S. military parade. Asim Munir is important for broader U.S.-Pak agenda. White House categorically denied inviting any foreign military leaders, including Asim Munir. Munir is in Washington till the 18th of June. His itinerary also includes his meetings with senior officials at the State Department and Pentagon. The Pakistani diaspora, particularly PTI supporters, remember, in the meanwhile, have mobilized strongly against Asim Munir in US. They had organized protests outside the Pakistani embassy in Washington on the 14th, opposing undeclared martial law in Pakistan. But there are several aspects being spoken of on how Munir's talks with some of the top officials in US are likely aiming at formalizing intelligence sharing, joint operations. These are developments India is closely looking at, and for multiple reasons. Akanksha Swaroop joins us to give us a lowdown on what this could mean for India going forward and why all of this is being scrutinized here in India to this extent. Akanksha, tell us more. It also, in a sense, is related to what's happening in the Middle East between Iran and Israel. Asim Munir's presence in Washington, regardless of whether or not he was an invitee to the military parade, is significant in ways more than one.
Absolutely, but what's important is that the Pakistanis have, of course, been left flushed with embarrassment, given that they had reports indicating that he will be present at that military parade. The White House has firmly denied that presence, saying that these are false reports. No military leader has been invited to the military celebrations in the United States, the parade which is also coinciding with the US President's birthday. But as you rightly highlighted, one cannot deny that the Field Marshal Asim Munir is very much over there in Washington. Of course, then you are saying that the PTI and its protests, along with the entire Pakistani diaspora, which actually funded billboards in New York to protest Munir's presence, criticizing his leadership, has had a huge role to play. But that doesn't mean that the US is not looking towards Pakistan as a reliable partner right now in the region. Because remember, just days ago, the CENTCOM chief, General Michael Kurella, had appreciated Pakistan, and he had praised Pakistan as a phenomenal partner in fighting the ISIS Khorasan. Also highlighted Pakistan's arrest of Mohammad Sharifullah, a suspect in 2021 Kabul airport bombing, and its willingness to extradite him to the United States. So yes, they have their own set of interests in Pakistan. As you rightly highlighted, we are also aware of the conflict that's currently plaguing Middle East, not just the war in Gaza, but the fresh conflict between Israel and Iran. In fact, as we speak, we are also aware that the Pakistan Assembly has passed a resolution condemning Israel's attacks on Iran, because there's been a fresh attack on the Iranian gas field today. And Pakistan Deputy CM, in fact, Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar passed that resolution condemning this act, calling it a violation of the UN Charter. And that is why we'll have to see how much of a stake is United States willing to, put into this entire Middle East conflict, because they are seeking Pakistan's logistical support, like access to bases near Iran, and use Pakistani diplomatic influence in the Muslim world. The US is also aiming to pull Pakistan away from Beijing's orbit, something which was very apparent, during Operation Sindoor, the kind of defense aid and defense partnership they've struck with China. So, of course, US-Pakistan ties now, Pakistan being wooed by the United States, is also a hint that they want to counterbalance the Chinese presence. But what will that mean for India? India will, of course, have to look towards maintaining that balance, especially when it comes to trade, defense deals, and align with U.S. interests. Of course, as we all know, Asim Munir is there to talk about all of these strategic interests, but there will also be discussions on critical minerals, counter-terrorism.